So I wrote this book called 7 Secrets Guys Will Never Tell You, a teen girl's guide on love, sex, and relationships. And I wrote this book because I kept hearing guys say stuff in classes that was just so amazing. And I was like, man, I wish I had a video camera so every girl in the world could hear what these guys just said. And so then I decided to put it in a book. And I have over 100 letters. I have over 100 letters from teens in this book, but I want to read you an excerpt from the introduction because I talk about in the book that there are 3 types of guys that are out there. And in all of the 7 secrets, I talk about how all 3 types deal with each one of the secrets. The first type is the player, and I'm sure we don't have any of those at your high school, right?
The players in black light.
That's a lot.
A lot? Y'all got a lot of them down there? No way. So let me read you a description of a player, and you tell me if this fits the ones you're thinking about. He doesn't care about you, and he just wants sex. This is a guy whose picture would be next to selfish in the dictionary. He has only one thing on his mind, sex. For him, sex is just another activity, like playing video games. And just like with video games, once he gets what he wants, he's ready for a new challenge. Of course, he can't let you know that he only wants sex because he knows you're smart enough not to date a guy like that. So he presents himself as a good guy. He says all the right things, leads you to believe he cares, wins your heart, and moves on after he's gotten what he wants. Let me read you a letter from a guy who's a player. He says, my number one goal was to have sex and get it as quick as possible without having to put in work. Sometimes it would take me a day. Sometimes it would take me 2 weeks. 2 weeks was the most amount of time that I would spend talking to the girl before I moved on if she didn't have sex. So clearly that's a player. The second kind of guy is a good guy. The good guy is not trying to use the girl. He really does care about her. He may even ask for sex. Because I'm not saying that just because a guy asks for sex, he's a bad guy. He just doesn't know any better. But once he gets the information, he'll stop having sex. This guy genuinely cares about you and has no intention of ever hurting you in any way. He's the kind of guy that most mothers would want their daughters to date. He is kind, trustworthy, loyal, respectful, and charming. He doesn't pressure you for sex. As a matter of fact, he allows you to decide when you're ready. He tells you he's willing to wait as long as you need and even tells you he's okay with not having sex if that's what you want. Unfortunately, the media may have conditioned him to equate sex with love just as much as it may have conditioned you, so he may believe that the only way to express his love for you is through sex. He's never learned the true meaning of love and hasn't considered the risk that sex involves for either of you. So let me read you a letter from a guy who's a good guy. He says, before I heard you speak, I thought sex was the only way to show my girlfriend love, but protecting her to show how much I love her is what I learned from you. Now I know that if I really want to protect my girlfriend, I'll do what's best for her and stop having sex with her. So see, when he knew better, he did better. But let me tell you about the third kind of guy that most girls don't think exists. And guys don't even think didn't even know he existed either until they started hearing me read from my book. And that's the best guy. That's the guy that only wants what's best for himself and whoever he's dating. So he's the guy that even if sex was offered to him, he would turn it down. This guy knows the difference between love and lust. He knows that love gives and lust takes. He also knows that love is selfless. He's willing to do what's best for you, even if it means sacrificing the pleasure he would get from sex. He's the type of guy who respects and treats you the same as he would want someone to respect and treat his little sister or future daughter. He's the guy who has dreams and goals and doesn't want to take part in any activity that will cause him to risk not reaching them. He also wants to protect your dreams and goals just as much as he protects his own. He would refuse to have sex with you even if you tried because he wants to protect you even when you won't protect yourself. So let me read you a letter from a guy who's the best guy. I'm a month from being 17 and I'm still a virgin. I've chosen to be a virgin till marriage because I respect women too much to harm them in any way. I have been in one serious relationship in which my ex-girlfriend told me, anytime you want it, just ask. I had to tell her no and that I didn't get into this relationship for sex. I hope this letter gets out to the girls you speak to because I want them to know that all guys aren't bad. And do you know that the enemy of best is not bad? The enemy of best is good. The thing that keeps most people from getting the best in life is that we settle. Because when things are really bad, you're motivated to get better. But when things are okay, you're not as motivated to get better because what you have is okay. Prime example is your grade. Would be your grades. So if you have an F, you're going to study if you have an F because that's failing. But how many people get okay because I'm passing so I don't have to study as much because I already have a C? So the thing that keeps most people from getting the A will not be the F, because F is bad. It's going to be the C, which is good. But that keeps them from getting what's best. So the thing that keeps most girls from getting a best guy is not a player, because she can recognize game. It'll be the good guy. It'll be the guy that'll say, I'll wait till you're ready. I'll let you decide. But the best guy, even if she decided, would say, nope, this isn't what's best for either one of us. And let me tell you what started happening when I started reading this in high school classes. I started getting letters from guys saying I was always a good guy because I didn't think a best guy was possible. So, but now you've challenged me to be a best guy. So let me read you some of those letters. This first guy says, I especially will internalize what you read to us from your book. Originally, I was a good guy, and I thought that was all I needed to be. But after hearing about the best guy, I am going to strive to be him because I want the best guy for my girlfriend. Thank you for coming and showing me a potential I never thought I had. So he thought it was okay just to say, I'll wait till you're ready, just to say, okay, I'm good. He didn't even know it was possible to be better than he already was. This guy says, your presentation really changed my view on having sexual relations in high school. You helped me understand the dangers of sex at this age and how it can change your life completely by one mistake. I was never a player. I always hated those type of guys. But I wasn't the best guy either. I was a good guy. I never asked or pressured sex when I was in a relationship, but if they offered, I took the chance. Now I want to be the best guy because I realized how selfish I was being. Thank you for showing me the right way. So see, he thought good was okay because he didn't know best was possible. This is next letters from a girl who dated a best guy. She said, your words helped me to realize how important I was to myself and my boyfriend. I thought maybe my boyfriend and I should have sex. After all, we both love each other and our hormones are running rampant. It wasn't until after I expressed my thoughts to my boyfriend and listened to your definition of love did I realize my idea of love was slightly skewed and that my boyfriend truly loves me. My boyfriend said he would never pressure me to have sex with him and he himself wasn't ready for such a milestone. Our futures are big and bright, he said, especially yours, and I would not be a man that loves you if I allow you to participate in something that has the potential to wreck your bright and beautiful future. So he didn't say I wouldn't be a man that loves you if I pressured you to have sex. He said I wouldn't be a man that loves you even if I allowed it to happen. And he said he's not just worried about her future. He said our futures are big and bright. So he's just as concerned about his future as he is hers. And that's who you want. You want somebody who has dreams and goals, especially if it's somebody you say you want to be with long term, which probably ain't going to happen because you know who most teenagers are dating? Their future ex. When you date somebody, that relationship typically ends one of two ways. You either marry them or break up with them. Or they die, but we won't go there. So he says, even if it has the potential, because the reality is, it's possible for a teenager to have sex and they might be lucky and not get any consequence. But he says, even if there's a chance, I wouldn't be a man that loves you if I allowed that to happen. Enemy of best is not bad. The enemy of best is good. Don't settle for somebody who's good. Hold out for somebody who is the best.